Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I hope the song has woken you up and you are active. I know it's early morning hour for you, but I thought this exercise can be a little bit reflective exercise. So if you can get a pen and paper or a journal, you will really enjoy it. Otherwise, it's a very simple Murli actually. And when Sister Raki told me to revise it, first thought was, oh, it's only one page Murli, or maybe 1.5 page Murli. And so I was like, I don't know what much we can do with it. But then I feel that this is the Murli that can really help us to recognize who we are. And many, many times I've heard not only in Sakar Murli, Baba will tell this, but also from the seniors, I have heard this. And living with Moini Didi, she also always tells how many people really have true recognition of Baba, right? It's not easy to kind of, really know who I am. And so Baba says, for himself also, for God, it is said that when I know him as he is and what he is, I can attain all attainments. So much is the power in this recognition. True recognition can completely transform me, and true recognition can actually help me to attain everything that I want. Right? I was wondering, we can also make it a little bit interactive session if you all are up to it. Baba said that if you know him as he is and what he is, then you would realize the different forms and different relationships that we have with Baba, or that Baba has with us, right? He calls us special children. He calls us valuable jewels. He calls us much more valuable than any VIP of the world. So what is it that he sees in me? Can I recognize that vision of Baba? Can I understand that form of Baba? So maybe if you take a pen and paper and just jot down some of the forms that you are aware of Baba. What is the form that comes to your mind when you think of Baba? And what are the different relationships? Then we will look at that afterwards. But if we can go through the Murli as an exercise for me to actually reflect and practically think about those points that Baba mentioned in the Murli, then this Murli can become a life-changing, or a life-saving herb, sometimes they call. It will never allow me to fluctuate. It will never allow me to create any doubt in myself. Sometimes I wonder, when we keep goals, right? And you all might share your own experiences as well. Whenever you have kept a goal in your life, right, that you want to do this, or you want to achieve this, or you want to become this, many a times there are a lot of obstacles that come, right? And sometimes it's possible that even your own family members could say, are you going to, do you think you can do this? Do you feel that you're worthy of this, or you can really achieve this? And to prove yourself, to make your dream come true, or to set that goal right, you take all the necessary steps that you have to, and you walk in the path, in the way, on that journey that you have chosen for yourself, without really giving attention to what other people have to tell you, right? So you don't allow that to influence you. It's that kind of recognition for the goal that you have, that this is what I want and I will do it. And you go fully out to get it, right? So here we are asking, do I really understand God as he is? Yeah. So you all can unmute or use your chat box, and write down some of the forms of Baba that come to your mind. What are the different forms of God that come to your mind? And what are, of course, we know different relationships, right? Don't even think we have to think much about it. But still, let's do this little exercise where we think about the different relationships as well. So different forms and different relationships, what they are. Anyone wants to share, also feel free to share. And we will make it a meditative exercise, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. Girijaben is saying somebody very high, somebody that loves me and loves all. Balvinder Ben is saying all in one. He's all in one. It's a good one. What are different forms?
Om Shanti, sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the forms, as you said, I think right down being in devotion and all. Such beautiful forms. Like earlier, I used to love Gayatri because we were a family of Gayatris. And I used to love the serenity of the deity and the way she stood up. It was something very nice. But I had my own liking to Rama because I found him very, very young. So we had such kind of forms of God in our mind, which was pre-fixed by our system, by our parents and all. But when you came to the Gyan, when suddenly, you were pulled out of all these things. And for me, when I came to the Gyan, it was just a light, saying, come, come, come. And it was such a beautiful thing. And to love somebody abstract. So for me, a form of God is something which no one can be, which nothing can be, which it cannot go in, it cannot be taken in a hand or something. It has to be, I have to take it within, and still it will not be there. I can give others. And something which is, it's when you're in love with a person, only you can know what is it. For me, that's the form. And how he sees me, really, I don't know what he saw in me. What did he see in me that he picked me up? So I
So we'll come
always
to
have a
that.
different.
Girijaben, we will come
Okay,
to that. Now,
okay.
right now, only what
Just
is the
beautiful,
form of Baba, and not to go into your devotion,
beautiful.
not to go
No,
into your deity thing. Only stick with this question. Yeah,
no,
everyone.
how did I shift? I want to say it's the beautiful form of a kind of a thing which penetrates in you, which
Mm-hmm.
is indescribable, which I don't know what form he is, but something which goes within you, which I cannot put it down in, which can be experienced by me and loved by me.
Mm-hmm. Rakhi is saying egoless and voiceless and bodiless. Beautiful. Kartika is saying one tiny white point of bright light, powerful rays. Very, very beautiful and happy and colorful and radiant. For me, he's formless, Balvinder is saying. I see him as sun. I see self as ray. Okay. We already have so many ways that we understand Baba, right? Each one has a very different way of recognizing Baba. Hmm? It is interesting in yesterday's Murli, if you remember, which was Friday morning Murli, Baba said, do not remember any pictures. And he said, do not remember the picture of the corporeal form or of the subtle form or of the incorporeal form either. And then this mornings, Murli, which is Saturday morning for us, he said in the slogan, he said that if you remember Baba in a way and involve him in everything, I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me on that, but he said you will experience him in the corporeal form. You can experience him in the corporeal form, right? So, and we know that it is through Brahma Baba that the incorporeal one could be experienced in the corporeal form, right? And so Shiv Baba is, of course, the one who has the incorporeal form. He has the subtle angelic form. He becomes our guardian angel. And then he also can be experienced in the corporeal form. How? Then you come to the next part that Baba says that we experience different relationships with Baba. And if I understand different relationships, then, or if I've experienced those different relationships, then it's easy for me to know Baba as he is, because he's not in just namesake relationship, but he is present to fulfill the responsibility that he has towards that relationship, right? And so now let's take few minutes to write down all relationships that you can think of with Baba. You first write all relationships in one vertical line. And then next to that, you write if you have an experience of that particular relationship with Baba after you've come into Gyan. Do you have experience of that particular relationship with Baba? So you first write down all the relationships that you can think of. Yeah, let's do this exercise. And I'm doing it with you all. So it's a good thing for me as well. When you're ready, you let me know, okay? Write down in the chat box how many relationships you have on your list. Palvinder is saying cannot write all. Okay. Very beautiful. And now you give a tick mark next to it whether you have experienced this particular relationship with Baba or not. If there is anything new besides what's already been written in the chat box, then you can mention those. Every relationship comes with a different attainment, right? What you get from the father, you will not get that from a mother. For example, the inheritance only is received from the father. The mother does not give the inheritance, right? So like that, you have experienced the uniqueness of that relationship. Then you give yourself a tick mark that yes, I have experienced this particular relationship with Baba. The more you experience the attainment of that particular relationship, the more you get to know Baba. You come close to Baba. Now, I will add, if no one is adding more, these are absolute. Okay. I also see Baba, besides what all of you have mentioned, as Dharamraj. Right? Have you experienced the relationship of him being Dharamraj? Also the relationship of him being God. Even though I'm not a devotee, but I have to know in my heart that he is the God, the master of the world, the creator, right? And then many of you have already written surgeon and boss. I wrote boss, owner, gardener, liberator, purifier, right? So have I experienced these relationships with Baba? Did I feel that he's the purifying, he's purifying me? Do I feel that he's Dharamraj and he's actually teaching me dharma and karma, the lessons which are very strong? Grandfather, it's a beautiful one. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Very nice. So we have around 18 to 20 different relationships with Baba, right? Very nice. Beautiful. Now, if I have recognized Baba as he is, I understand his form, I understand my connection and deep relationships with Baba that I have, then through Baba, I also know who I am. So in the Murli, Baba said, as you know who Baba is and what Baba is, so accordingly, then know yourself as you are and what you are, not through your own vision and definitely not through the vision of the world, right? Because the world will look at you, and if they like what you're doing, then they will like you. If they don't like, so it's their personal belief or personal interest that they will try to put on you. And for my own vision also, I think I have mentioned this earlier also, that my own vision towards myself is also very tainted and impure and critical and obsessed sometimes, and too many expectations. So if I leave aside the vision of myself on me and the vision of others on me through the Father, can I ask myself, just as Baba knows me, do I know myself? Just as Baba accepts me, can I accept myself? And just as Baba sees me, can I see myself in that way? Yeah. So ask these questions to yourself and see what is the answer. Now, if, for example, I'll give you a very simple example. Baba says, you are my beloved child. Then do I know in my heart that I am Baba's beloved child? And then do I accept that I am Baba's child? Or do I question, I don't know, Baba, what did you see in me? If you have this kind of feeling, very subtly, it means that I haven't yet accepted the way Baba looks at me. Because I'm still looking at myself in this present form, which perhaps has some layers of algae around it. Algae is anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. And so when I'm covered with the algae, I can't see the diamond deep inside that Baba can see. And so I then question Baba, what did you see in me? Why did you pick me? I am not that good. I'm not what you're saying, you know? And so there is a difference, right? Can you experience what I'm saying? Can you, does it make sense? So ask yourself very gently, do I know myself as Baba knows me? And do I accept myself as Baba accepts me? If there is little bit of conflict between your head and heart, where maybe your head says, yes, 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 I am absolutely like Baba tells in the Murli who I am. But then my heart, I don't feel that I'm that good. I don't feel I'm that worthy. I don't feel I'm doing enough service for Baba to be loved by me. I don't, so if that little bit of conflict is there, then that means there is still a little bit of lack in knowing myself as I am, right? So you have to now bring your self-respect up. Just sit with yourself, look at Baba, let Baba's vision fall on you, and then you check, Baba, how do you see me? Ask yourself, how does Baba see you?
If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications and the ones that I adore. I carved you from a diamond and polished you with love. Then I sent you out beyond the veil so you might choose the love. Sweet creations, your beauty makes me weep. Oh, my sweet creations, the whole world's at your feet. And one day soon you'll see it. You could see what I see, you'd never lose your smile. For you walk in thy own footsteps when you walk that second mile. These are more than words, my love. This is poetry divine. My signature is everywhere, for all of life is mine. One day you'll see what I see, and you'll come to realize that every
So if I'm able to recognize myself, again, this morning I think Baba said that you are my direct creation. Did it touch your heart when Baba said, you are my direct creation? And a couple days Baba said, you are my heirs, right? It's not a small thing to become a king and queen. What Baba is making me, what worthiness Baba sees in me, what potential Baba recognizes in me. Do I see that? Right? Do I feel that I am that worthy child? I am that special jewel. I am that heir child. I am number one quality soul. I am direct creation of God. I am golden aged Sun Dynasty soul. So, you create this awareness in yourself. And then when I am aware, Baba said, and I know this is who I am, I accept in my heart that, yes, this is who I am, then I will be able to conduct myself accordingly. How should a direct creation of God be? This morning Baba was saying, you would never cry. You would constantly be very cheerful. You would be very royal in your behavior. Every word that comes out of your mouth would be a jewel of knowledge, right? You'd never cause sorrow to anyone. You would never eat something that God's creation would ever eat, right? And so think of these things and see now, ask yourself, how do I conduct myself? When I'm thinking, what is the quality of my thoughts? When I'm speaking, what is the choice of words that I am making? And when I am performing actions through any of these senses, what is the quality of those actions? Yeah, reflect on this and ask yourself, how am I conducting myself? Am I conducting myself as a direct creation of God? Am I conducting myself knowing who I am? It's not we're not doing this exercise to push us further down. If you recognize that there are times when you speak words that you shouldn't, then you just acknowledge it, right? Because once you acknowledge it, once you know about it, you're giving yourself space to transform. So what I am doing, I'm very gently looking at my thoughts throughout the day. I'm looking at my words. And if you don't want to look at the entire life, just take, for example, your day, how it was yesterday. For me, it's evening, so it's easier. But you can do this exercise again today evening, right? Or you can just think of your day, how it was yesterday. What were the thoughts? What was the quality of those thoughts? The choices of words that you used in your speech. And the behavior, was it royal? Was your behavior something that gave happiness to people around you? How was your face? Was it cheerful? What did you eat? Did you eat pure diet? So it's just a checking, a subtle checking that we're doing so we can become more aware. So then Baba went ahead and he said, if I'm able to recognize myself as I am, who I am, I know it, I accept it, and I conduct myself according to it, then Baba said, how will your stage be like? He said, your stage will be like Angat, right? No fluctuation at all. No fluctuation at all. When sometimes I remember I was talking to you about the goals earlier, right? When you decide a goal in your life and you know you want to do it and you make every possible effort to do it, even though what people around you might sometimes say that it's not possible. I remember when I was in my 12th grade or something, somebody said to me, you're not going to study ahead, and I didn't buy into it. I was like, oh, why do you say so? And I can see why, but it just I didn't feel that this is what is true about me. And no matter what somebody said, what they acted like, I continued the studies. I did what I wanted to do. And so that's where I was thinking that when we see ourselves that this is what I am and this is what I want to do, then no matter what people around will say to you, it will not influence you. This is what it means by no fluctuation in your stage. Baba said there will be no fluctuation in following the disciplines either. You will never have a doubt whether I should do this or not, or it's okay to not do one day. You will always remain very determined in following those principles. And he acknowledged that maybe in the beginning you will feel a little bit of effort, that I have to do it, I have to be careful, I have to be cautious, I have to be attentive. But from that effort making stage, as you move forward, it will become a very natural stage. Naturally, you will do. Naturally, you will think right. Naturally, you will feel good. Naturally, you will be royal in your behavior. You won't have to make effort, right? So this is because I am staying uninfluenced by the opinions of the people around me, right? Even your family members can talk very negative stuff when it comes to some of the principles that we follow on this path, right? But I have to remain untouched by people's opinion. I have to remain undisturbed by people's opinion. I have to remain very, very stable. That's one of the most powerful signs that you are moving forward on this journey, right? Because Baba says, no, many a times that if you are in the neutral gear, you are in the best position here, internally speaking, spiritually, you're in a neutral gear. That means when something very good happens in your life, you're not overjoyed, you're not overexcited, you're not over happy. Because if you find yourself becoming overexcited, over happy, overjoyed, there is a guarantee that when something bad happens, you will feel over sad. You will feel very unhappy. You will feel extremely down, right? And so Baba is saying the pendulum, the stage should remain stable. The lever on the balance, right? There is that needle. That needle, when it is straight, only then you call it balance. And balance is the forerunner of perfection. So if I want to bring perfection in my life, I have to bring this stage of complete balance. Whether somebody's saying good, whether somebody's saying bad, whether somebody's appreciating me, whether somebody's defaming me, whether somebody's saying positive or saying negative, whether I'm experiencing victory, whether I'm experiencing defeat, whether there is happiness or there is sorrow. No matter what the external situation is, here I have to remain neutral. Yeah. So you check now for next few days. You can do this exercise for 7 days and see when different situations come in your life, when people say different things to you, do different things, how is your stage internally? Because Baba said, if you know yourself, who you are, what you are, you accept yourself, you conduct yourself according to that, then you will remain stable. There will be no fluctuation. Very powerful sign he gave us. And so you can think of that. You can actually do this exercise for next 7 days and check yourself if there is any fluctuation. And if there is, don't worry about it. Just acknowledge, pen it down. And the next time when that situation comes, tell yourself, I'm going to conduct myself in a little bit better, a more dignified way, right? And then Baba said, your stage will be, he also went forward to say that when you are in the body, you will experience bodilessness because you know that you are not the body, right? He said, when you are in the vyakt form, which is the corporeal form, you will experience being in avyakt form. That means you will feel like you're an angel going around, right? He said that when you're performing karma, you will feel that you're free from the bondage of karma. That means you will experience karma at each stage. You will do the action, but you will not feel anything too high or too low about that action. That's the karmatit stage. You're not in the bondage of that karma. When you perform karma, then you feel good. When you don't, no, not like that. You perform, you do it because you have to do it, and then it's done. That's karmatit stage, right? So Baba gave us these, some of these stages that you could experience when you are in this physical world, right? But what Baba also said that when you practice working from this awareness of who I am and what I am, accepting that, conducting yourself like that, then he said, whatever actions I perform, others will see me and they will also perform those actions. And that's how I can do lot of seva, right? He said that others will come close to you. That's another very powerful sign that Baba gave us, that when you perform actions from that space of being in your true self-respect, then whatever actions you perform, others will perform, and many will come close to you. They would want to be around you, right? And you yourself will experience transformation. Baba said, you will never ever have doubt whether this action is right, whether this thought is right, whether this is, of course, he said you can verify and you can talk to your seniors and you can ask the instrument. That's a different thing. But when you have done, there is no repentance. Dadi Janki told me once that whatever you do, you make sure that you're not going to repent. And for the first time, I thought, how am I going to do this, Baba? How do I know that if I'm making this decision today and tomorrow I'm not going to repent? How do I know this? And the simple answer that came to me when I was sitting in Baba's room was that if I remain stable on the rails of drama, I know everything is for benefit. There can never be anything that is not beneficial. So there will never be any kind of repentance, right? So this is how you would know that you're never going to do anything wrong. And Baba gave the example of Brahma Baba. He said that Brahma Baba, even though he sometimes maybe he would do something wrong, he still had the authority to say that Baba will put it right. Baba will put it right. He had so much authority of that truth or self-respect, right? And everything he did, he said, he thought, that became the discipline for the Brahmin family, for the entire yagya. And so Baba is saying that your actions will become discipline, right? It's not that you're working from discipline, but you will become so righteous in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions, that they themselves will become discipline for the entire family. The family will come close to you, right? And that is elevated and deep effort, Baba is saying, where you're not doubting yourself. You're not in this dilemma of right and wrong, but because you're in the right awareness, right consciousness, whatever action you perform, whatever thoughts you create, whatever words you, everything will be right. You have that faith. And that faith brings victory, Baba said, right? He said, as much as you have faith in Baba, do you have that much faith in the self? Now, this is another question that I need to ask myself. Do I have that much faith in myself? Sometimes parents will earn money and sometimes they earn so much that they want their children to sit and eat. But sometimes you should ask why I have to earn so much. Why can't I trust the destiny of my children, that they will earn, they will take care of themselves. Let me also enjoy, let me earn this spiritual income and not put my whole time, energy, and efforts into just earning Lokik income, which is important, but not everything, right? And so that balance has to be there, that understanding that I trust my destiny. I trust myself. I have faith in myself. I know I can do this. And then there is no stopping. Nobody can stop you from achieving what you want to, right? So I think that's the pure intoxication that Baba wants to give us from this Murli, that have faith in yourself, just as Baba has. Look at yourself just as Baba looks at you, and recognize that this time is most beneficial time. So I think that's where I will stop. It was a very powerful Murli with some powerful signs that Baba gave us, and you can reflect on that for next week or so and see how it makes you feel. Yeah. If anyone wants to ask any questions, you're more than welcome to ask, or we can end with a meditation, whatever. Any thoughts, anything anyone wants to share? Is it overwhelming? Did I talk too much?
No, it's the stage of assimilating what you
Yes.
spoke. And the question that comes at this point of time is, when we hear this, at that moment, there is an intoxication. And when the day follows, it trips at times. And then to hold on to this intoxication, what is that you will give us as few tips, maybe one or two tips to be consistent in remaining in this intoxication?
One thing I remember that when I used to study in my Lokik, school, whenever we used to create a goal for ourselves, we would never postpone it. If I have to study, I have to study every day. If I have to write down the answer, I have to write it every day. We were very methodical and very consistent in our small steps that we took towards the big goal that we had. But I think that is one thing that we lack in the path of knowledge. How many of us really are consistent with writing our chart, for example? Or how many of us are really consistent with having only positive thoughts? I have to think positive, or doing my traffic control, or intermittently checking myself. So those small steps that are necessary to get to that big goal, I think that's where we sometimes postpone, or we sometimes become lazy. Like Baba was saying this morning in the Murli, I remember he said that sometimes you feel you did a lot of seva, and then you say, okay, Baba, I'm very tired. Now I'm not going to write the chart, right? In that context, he was saying that you get tired and you don't give your news to Baba. But that's also an excuse, right? That's also not right according to him. So I think when we set a goal, let's say, for example, I set a goal that I want to get rid of this deep rooted negative sanskar in me, and I'm working towards it, but then am I watering it every day? Am I bringing it into my awareness that I have promised Baba that I'm not going to do this? How much do I do that? And do I postpone? Like people in the world also, we know that when they create New Year's resolution, or they create some goals for themselves, very few days they're able to sustain it. On the new year also, I myself am guilty of doing that. First I said, oh, I'll start this from 31st of January. And then I said, but 31st is going to be a long night. So let me do it from 2nd of January. And then 2nd, okay, I'm very busy now. New year has started, new things to do. So let me do it from 5th of January. So you see how we postpone things also in our Brahmin life. So I think this idea of procrastination, if I can stop that, and if I can take those small steps on a regular basis, then perhaps that might help me. That's one thing I feel, that we have to be very consistent with the small steps, and the big ones will be achievable very easily.
Thank you for that answer. It's like be present to what you said and keep doing it.
Hmm.
You may fall, acknowledge that fall and move forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else wants to share? Any new realizations anyone had? Anything that kind of sticked out for them? Girja is saying yes. Okay, good. Would you like to share, Girja?
I've actually put it in the chat box because I'm not feeling quite well. I just wrote
Okay.
there, if you, I think because my chat box is directed only towards admin, so I'm not able to
I can
send it.
see.
If you can, if you can.
Yeah, it says I'm intoxicated the way he sees me, he addresses me, which touches my heart, and I look up to him. But when I go down myself, I see some cobwebs blurring the vision because of the thought, could it be me or really? And my intellect starts to evaluate those cobwebs. So that's again a doubt, no? So you're not accepting yourself like Baba accepts you. How can faith in myself, how can faith in myself be strong? If you have faith in what Baba says, then faith in yourself can be strong. To say that I have faith in Baba, but I don't have faith in myself, you have to question your faith in Baba then. Because Baba is the one who's telling you that you are a very special soul. So then, can I trust Baba? Sometimes, if you also work on your trust, faith becomes strong. Faith is more to do with intellect, actually, and trust is to do with your heart. So, if you feel being trusted by Baba, if you feel that you are able to trust Baba, then your faith for yourself can also become strong. But also, you look at your life, and there, I'm sure there are some situations in your life where you didn't have any hope, and then suddenly, if you kept that going still, no matter what, it turned out to be a good thing that happened to you. In that moment, it looked like a storm. In that moment, it looked like something bad is happening. But after a few days or after a few months, you said that was good that it happened. So if you can go back to such scenes in your life, then from there also you can draw faith that whatever has happened, I can see that if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be here where I am today, you know? So sometimes I feel those kinds of situations in life, you should write down and then remember that there were so many times where things turned out to be good. So let me have faith and just hold on to it that it will turn out good, you know. So I think more important is to have trust in what Baba is saying. Listen to Baba carefully, what he's saying, and then listen to him as if he's only saying to you, not all the details. He's speaking directly to you, the child. You are special. Right? So it's like you listen, like he's saying, Kartika, you are number one. So you are the bead of the rosary of victory. So you listen like that Baba, God is telling you. That's why the relationship of God is also important. Sometimes we take Baba for granted, I feel, and then we don't care for what he says. I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, like struggling to
Beautiful,
put in,
sister. Thank you, sister.
sure, struggling to put in practice, example, remaining in soul conscious 24/7. Oh, Om Shanti, I'm a beginner. How can I attain Sthiti's advanced level easily, quickly? What kind of progress I do? Okay, I think slow and steady wins the race. be a tortoise. Don't worry about running fast, but at the same time, just maintain consistency in your effort and you will go very far. Don't get stuck in anything. Don't stop no matter what. And you will be able to go far. You will experience all stages. Don't worry. It will come with time. Most important is your daily practice, your daily dharana, right? Of Murli, of yoga, of Amrit Vela. Those are the things, if you do, you will have beautiful experiences. And for soul consciousness, I think like Baba, Brahma Baba, I learned this from Brahma Baba's story book when I read it. Brahma Baba used to draw circles on the wall and he would say that Jashoda is a soul, Narayan is a soul, this one is a soul. And so the more and more I tell myself when I see people, first thing when I look myself in the mirror, I say, I am a soul. And then when I look at others, this one is a soul. I am looking at a soul. I'm speaking with the soul. I'm listening to the soul. I think this kind of conscious physical practice, if you do, it will help. Because I feel that is what helped Brahma Baba. And whatever Brahma Baba did, we can do that, right? We can follow Brahma Baba. And so if I can practice that, I think soul consciousness practice will increase. It will help. Balwinder, you shouldn't worry about going fast, right? It's like you're a baby, and a baby always should walk slowly and carefully. Build your muscles, become strong, and then you will fly easily. So if you're a beginner, don't worry about going too fast. I really am telling you from my own experience, and I really believe in the saying, slow and steady definitely wins the race. Slow but steady, constant, not to stop no matter what. Don't stop your practices, your dharnas, your maryadas, your principles. That's where you have to bring consistency. Only focus that much for first 2 years or so, right? And you will go very fast, very quickly. You will go ahead afterwards. Yeah. So much test paper from Brahmin Parivar. It's good to get the papers from internal, right? Internal family, right? I remember when I decided to surrender my job and, live at the center, one of the things somebody said to me, but you will have more test papers. And I said, it's nothing like more or less. I have to give test papers no matter what, because I want to become a hero. A hero has to face the villain and give the challenges so that he can win, right? And so if I want to become a hero, I can't be afraid of the test papers. Now, the good thing for me is to sit inside and give the test papers rather than go outside and give test papers with the other human beings. So in a way, Sindhu Ben, it is better to give test papers with the Brahmin family rather than to give it with outside people. So don't worry about test papers. Just tell yourself when the test paper comes, okay, I know this is a paper and I promise I will fly with passing colors, with honors, right? I will pass with honors. This is what Moini Didi taught me actually. She used to tell, whatever test paper comes, doesn't matter. Only tell yourself, I'm going to pass with honors on this test paper. And Baba is, of course, with you, right? He will always be with you. So if he's with you, why to worry? But don't be afraid of any test papers. Just know they are simply test papers. All right. Shall we do little meditation or we have no time?
We shall do little meditation and then
Yeah.
move on.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's remember Baba. So sit quietly, very straight and alert, comfortable and relaxed. And gently bring your attention to the center of the forehead. And through the third eye, I begin to observe myself. I recognize the true sentient being, the life-giving force that resides in this body. I recognize that everything that I have accumulated is not who I am. Everything that I have acquired is not who I am. The story that I tell about myself, the roles that I have played, responsibilities that I fulfill is not who I am, and much more beyond what meets the physical eyes. I am a tiny little point without any bodily form. I see myself as a bodiless star, radiating the light of truth, light of wisdom. In my heart, I know that I don't belong to this world. And so instantly, I carry myself with the help of my mind and intellect far beyond this world. I go to that sacred land where the highest on high, the Supreme Father resides, the one who is indeed my world. Experience this beautiful communion between the soul and the Supreme Soul. The more I remember Him, He remembers me, for remembrance begets remembrance. The more I see Him, He sees me. The more I listen to Him, He begins to listen to me. There's this perfect balance in this relationship. There is perfect partnership and connection in this relationship. Everything that Baba does, everything that Baba speaks, I take it seriously. I recognize that God, the Father, the Creator, is teaching me, sustaining me, guiding me. So I take His support. I use His strength. I use His company. And I allow Him to stand by my side. In every thought, word, and action that I speak, I will hold His company, His presence with me. With this determination in my heart, I now gently return back to the physical world. And for the rest of the day, wherever I go, I will have the angel by my side. And I myself will be angel for many others around me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Tina Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. And let's be the angel for the day. And we meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Om Shanti, everyone. Take care.